It's happening. It's happening. Oh, well, that was fast. You said it was going to take a minute. All right. Hey, guys. We are live from New York City. It's Thursday. I'm Daniel Norton here with Marissa. And today the theme is red. And she didn't get the note. Oh, you did get the red lipstick. Okay, that's fine then. So I get lots and lots of questions about this, so I'm just going to spend a couple minutes talking about how we're streaming this, because in the world today, somewhere in the world today, there's lots of people doing live streams. It's becoming more and more popular. Everybody's able to share their knowledge this way. So I'm just going to kind of do a quick overview of this. If you guys have questions, we can try to answer them either in the comments after, or I'll try to do a little bit now. So I'm basically using something called Sling Studio, which is a multicam system that allows you to wirelessly, essentially, have cameras come to it. You use something like an iPad, or you could use a Mac to be your switcher, and from it you can then stream. So that's our hub, right? Then I have two Nikon cameras, a Z5 and a Z50. They have transmitters on top, wireless transmitters. They're going to there. And then up here, I have my old iPhone. Because there's an iPhone app that just allows you to go in. So you could, in theory, take this thing out with just iPhones and have a multicam system. Then just hardwired in, I have my laptop. So that's how you're able to see all the stuff we're doing. So I've got all this stuff here. It makes it really simple, really powerful. And you can record. This is kind of the power of this. We can theoretically record each of these cameras independently while we're still streaming. That way, if you want to re-edit it, fix it up and stuff later, you can do that. So that's kind of how we go at it. I'm shooting with Nikon Z6. We're going to use mostly ProPhoto strobes. What else didn't I talk about? Oh, Manfrotto. Everybody asked about the tripod. The tripod. This is a Manfrotto 055 X Pro 3 with this beautiful hydrostatic ball head. This is a great head, by the way. Yeah, it's my favorite. Well, second favorite. Well, it's my favorite for this. Anyways.
Vanessa wants your dress.
Vanessa wants my dress. I'm willing to sell it to you. Oh, your dress.
That's pockets.
It does have pockets, yes. Hey, Vanessa. Okay, so what are we doing today? Oh, I'm sorry. Over here on the Mighty Mix. Seth. Okay, well, I messed that one up a little bit. That's why he distracted me, so I wouldn't do that. But I didn't forget, so don't worry about it. We're gonna do intro to flash photography. I do this once a year or so, maybe, yeah. Just kind of for people that are maybe new or want a refresher. We're just gonna talk about why we use flash, kind of some of the basics of it. There's no stupid questions, I usually say. Actually, I never say that, but when I'm live, I have to say it. There's like a requirement, right? No, but go ahead, if you have questions generally that something seems a little off, you have a question about using flash, go ahead and ask, and I'll do my best to answer it. Then we'll do some examples. We'll make some portraits, of course, as well, just, so that we're making pictures, right? If I just stood there and talked, it wouldn't be that interesting. I mean, maybe it would be interesting. I don't know.
I would be interested.
Thanks. Marissa would be interested. All right, so what I always say is, so I'll say it again, the reason why you use flash, I mean lighting in general, but flash in particular, is because it gives you control. Flash, for what it is very, very powerful, right? It allows you to take control of your space. It allows you to come into any space that you want and create the light that you envision. Natural light is beautiful. Natural light is fantastic. But it's not always what you want at that moment when you need it. And if you want to do photography in a more serious way, you need to be able to deliver consistently. Now, sure, constant light sources are great. A constant light source is going to allow you to, what you see is what you get, as they say, right? So it's a little bit easier, especially if you're coming from a background of, using available light, as most people are when they first start. That's great, but constant light does not have as much power. Because think about it. If I take, I'm going to use this ring light because that's the only one I had around. But if I take this ring light, which is pretty powerful, if you were in a dark room or whatever, it'd be fine. And I take it outside, it does next to nothing. Whereas if I take my flash outside, I can actually balance and even overpower, if I bring enough flash power, the natural light. It's that powerful. So we'll do some sample shots to start. First, I have my camera here. Again, this is Nikon Z6. This is, I'm going to shoot this first shot at f8, 200th of a second ISO 100, which is what we normally shoot at, right? It's kind of like a good baseline. Why do I do that? I do that to get rid of the light in the space, or to control the space. So I will start here first, and we'll just take a shot. And we can see that that's basically a black frame, right? So at this point, there's no light really exposing Marissa. If we go over here and drag this over, we can see she's actually there. Just in case you think I didn't actually take a picture. You know, there she is. I'm a natural light photographer. No? Okay. I tried. All right. You could crank it up to ISO gazillion, sure, and then you'd still have a flat, boring lit picture. Wonderful. But I don't have to do that. If I want to shoot at ISO 100, and I can take something as small as this flash here that fits in my pocket. Hold on, will it fit in your pocket?
Oh!
Oh, those are small pockets.
Deep pockets. Deep pockets.
Marissa could fit 2 flashes. You don't want to carry on gear? You just have Marissa carry it. Okay? You got to get it back from her, otherwise she'll keep it. All right, small flash, right? Typically one of the first tools we're going to use as lighting photographers. We're going to take our flash, make sure it's on. It is. I put it on top of my camera because that's where it goes. That's why they often call them. You're not going to believe what they're called. On-camera flash. Yeah, it's crazy, right? We do that. Perfect. Perfectly lit shot. I'm now a professional photographer. Just that easy, right? If I took this shot of Marissa,
amazing.
She'd be like, oh man, that's just like American Apparel catalog. I want that, except none of the weird baggage that goes with it. Yes. Fantastic. Right. Okay, so power, right? I went from that to that with just this little baby flash on top of my camera, because the flash gives me that power. And just to kind of demonstrate, we'll take this off. Keeping our settings the same. Let's take our ring light, because ring lights are very cool. You know what makes you a good photographer? Ring light. It's very important when using a ring light to not actually shoot through the center of it, because that's what everybody does. We're going to use it like this and make a Rembrandt light. All right. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Work it. Yeah, right? What'd you think? Did you think that was going to work? Come on. I wouldn't have this whole video if it was. Look though, the light's nicer than it was. That's beautiful light. But I would have to increase my ISO, slow down my shutter speed, or open up my lens in order to get that result, which means that I am making a compromise, right? Now you're saying, but Daniel, the lighting here sucks. Yeah, it does. Why, right? What's the difference between this and what we did here? The size of our light source and its position, right? Relative to our subject. This is small. Once I did that, test the autofocus there.
You're up.
Okay. I had Spider-Man it there for a second. How does it look? I'll freeze in place where I was.
Bill says it's connecting, but you might be live. Go.
Okay, so we're back. A little technical difficulty there. New York City, you would think would have the best internet in the world. No, it's terrible. Anyways, we could use our small flash and modify it to make it larger and make it nicer. But since we're in a studio and just for the matter of using, you know, the gear that I would normally use for this type of thing, I'm going to actually use big flash, as we call it. Actually, I don't know if anybody calls it big flash, except Joe. Joe always calls it big flash. I don't know why. I guess it's the opposite of small flash. This is a Profoto B1X. It is a monolight, meaning it is a completely self-contained flash unit. This one happens to be battery powered. So we're in a studio, we don't really need that. But you know, this is the flash that I own, so this is what we're going to use. This is very powerful. This is probably the equivalent of maybe like 10 of these, right? Why do we want power? I just showed you that this one could do everything we need to do, right? But when you do that, you're taxing the smaller flash. This one is going to allow us to shoot faster, put it in bigger modifiers, put it further away if we want, bounce it off stuff. That's why you want power. 'Cause sometimes people ask me, how much power do I need? Well, it depends on what you're doing. So, let's take this bad boy, fire it up. Nope, that's the wrong one. Let's take this bad boy. This is in the A group. I mean, both would work, but this has a strip bank on it, 1x3 strip. So now I'm creating a large light source relative to our small flash, of course, which is here. And also, more importantly, relative to our subject, right? Marissa, you know, her head is, believe it or not, is less than 3 feet in size, which I will demonstrate here by putting this close to her. Not much less than 3 feet, but less than 3 feet.
I have a big head.
She does have a big head, but you know, it's like not in like a conceited way, but just in the physical way. Larger source is going to become softer. Softer means the transition between your highlights to your neutral to your shadow is going to be more gradual. That's generally what we like for a portrait. So unlike this hard light shot that I shot before, we're going to make a soft light shot. Now I will move this so it will not be confusing, though we may incorporate it later when we do a mixed light shot. Okay, so there's lots of ways to fire a flash like that. You could use a sync cord. In this case, I could use that small flash because they're in the same system. It could be used as a trigger to send. But I have this smaller air remote, which is essentially going to give me the ability to fire my flash remotely, thus the name remote. I know, it's weird how they name stuff, but so I'm going to get in closer, get a little closer. All right. Same settings, 200th of a second, f8, 100 ISO. I'm in TTL. That means through the lens metering. This means that the flash / remote / camera are going to use the internal meter in the camera to establish exposure. The camera is not the final arbiter of that, though. The camera is not the final arbiter of that, though. We're going to do this. It's going to give us a basic exposure. We're going to look at it and determine for ourselves if that's what we like. Then we're going to adjust. So, a lot of people say, well, I use a light meter. I don't use TTL because that doesn't use a meter. Yeah, it uses a meter. It uses a meter in your camera, you know? But there are light meters, and we'll use that as well. Maybe go like this a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit. All right, here we go. Boom. Oh, what happened there? Oh, Marissa. Oh, Marissa. What did she do? Well, Capture One always leaves the last setting that you had, and I had cranked it up on the natural light shot. So, okay. It's a little overexposed for my taste. It's got that kind of cool shadowy pattern thing going on, but it's a bit overexposed. If you look at your TTL exposure and you're not happy with it and you're in Capture One like I am, you can grab your exposure slider and drag it back till it looks good. About half a stop. And then what we're going to do, I'm lighting you from the wrong side, aren't I? No, you're fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to switch to manual now because I have my base exposure. And I'm going to lower the power of the light by about half a stop. And we'll take another shot. There we go. Right? Again, now we have control of our space. I mean, we're not creating the nicest light in the world. Marissa's too nice to say that's terrible lighting, but it's it. You know, it is. It's what it is, right? But it's giving us control. If it's the light that I want because I think this is good lighting, it's not. That's all good. Although your earring lights up nicely. What would I use if I didn't use TTL? So if I wasn't going to use TTL, the way to do it, and we'll do that right now actually, before we get into making good shots, it's always important to leave the bad shot of Marissa up for a little bit. Keeps her grounded. This is a light meter. There are many like it. This one is mine. Yeah, this one is mine, right? So, yeah, this one's mine. All right. This is the Sekonic Flashmate L308XU. This is one of the most cost-effective, inexpensive meters, and it is very good for kind of your basic flash needs. Essentially, what we're going to do with this is we're going to program into this the settings that we know, or that we can control, I should say, which would be our shutter speed and our ISO. We're going to put it in non-corded flash mode. And then what I'm going to do, because I need to fire the flash, of course. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, because we know what it would be, so I'm going to go over here to this dial, and I'm going to turn it randomly. Okay? We're going to go over here to our meter. Oops. I'm going to fire the flash, pointing the meter at the flash. Oh, mama. All right, it says it's 16.5, so I'm going to turn it down. I want to be f8, right? So I will turn it down about 2.5 stops to start anyways. Yep, 56.9, that seems good to me. And let's take a shot. And there we go, right? Same result, better image, because Marissa realized that looking straight ahead was definitely a better pose for this light. This is that image that, like, you know, it's on that, like, you need to buy headache medicine because the kids, you know, are loud. I don't know why you buy headache medicine. I guess because you have a headache. Right. Right. Buy headache medicine, yes. Perfect. All right, that's all fine and dandy, right? We're using a relatively large source, but it's not, this is a strip bank, and I get this question a lot, like, why do you use different types of light? Well, if we look at this thing, the strip bank itself is giving us some kind of tight control of the light. So it's giving us that shadow pattern, right? Because it's narrow. Let's leave everything exactly the way it is. Let's take this off. Try to do it without bumping her in the head. There we go. Let's switch to an octabank. So this is, well, it's not really round. It's octagonal. But it's roundish.
So what if you don't have a light meter?
What if I don't have a light meter? Then I would use TTL. How can I be a photographer? How do you be a photographer if you don't have a camera? I mean, you need tools, right? If you have no light meter and you have no TTL, then you're going to have to just take pictures until it's right. That's just not the most effective way to do things. I would not recommend doing that, but you know, you could do it. I'm not going to sit here and do it, but take your flash, set it at the midpoint of the power, make an exposure, and then adjust the power until it looks right. That's how you would have to do it. I would recommend highly against that. I'm going to switch this back to TTL. We're going to take a shot. Now I went back to TTL, right, because I changed my modifier, which means that the power is going to change. Okay, so we can see the difference between the two light shapers. Right? This one's wrapping around more. It's still not in a very good position, but you know, it is what it is. Right? Didn't move the light, changed the size of it, right? Made it so that it covers more surface area, it wraps around, it fills in. The only thing that's really throwing a shadow now is her nose, because you know, your nose is three-dimensional. I mean, I guess your whole head's three-dimensional, but the nose is the most. Typically, the nose is the thing that sticks out the furthest. I guess it doesn't have to be. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. The nose knows. All right, so let's work towards the light slightly. There we go. Right, to try to alleviate the shadowiness of it. Right, let it wrap around a little more. See? Now we're making it work better. Now the thing here is that our shadow's coming directly from the side, and we almost never want. By the way, I'm in TTL. You see how it's shifted? It's going to do that. When TTL's using the meter in the camera, it's going to shift shot to shot. Generally, when you're making a portrait, what you want to do is get your exposure set where it is and then switch to manual. Definitely want to do that. Okay, but let's just work with this for a second. This is okay, but the problem is the light is too low. The low light source isn't natural, right? Light doesn't come from sideways usually. I mean, maybe if you're in space. I don't know. I mean, light usually comes from above. That's how we see light. That's how we think of light. Now, it is true, maybe at the very end of the day, when you're sitting there and the light's just creeping across the horizon, giving you that cool end-of-day light, you might get that kind of side shadow. Yeah, but we're in a studio with a blue background. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? So let's make the light make sense. We're going to do that by raising it. Now, what you want, now I know that posing guide and lighting guide that you paid all that money for in the PDF form online told you to put the box so that the center of the box was in the center of their head. You wasted your money. You want the light to be higher than generally. Maybe not this high, but we're going to find out in a second. Now, I'm in TTL still, so let's see what happens. Yeah, right? Now it's looking better, right? Okay, actually, I will adjust this exposure so that I'm not... look at how the positioning of the light changes and makes more sense, right? It's shaping the face. It's bringing out that kind of triangle of the face, right? It's making it more three-dimensional. This is all about the placement of the light and the size of the light source. And obviously, we're just using one flash. Since nobody's here to ask me, because Seth never asked me any questions, he just ignores me. The background's being lit. Did you notice that? That's because the light's going everywhere. Because remember, when the flash doesn't go off, that's what we get. So we're also lighting our background. We have a big source. Some of it's spreading to the background. So the reason why you're going to use one light over another is that's going to be part of the factor, right? Where you put the light, how big it is, where it is relative to the subject / background is going to change how your scene interacts, like the light in your scene. If I want less light in the background, I've got a few options. One would be to turn the light away, but if you can see, probably through this camera, it's pretty much turned away from her, right? The other thing I can do is I can start to move the light. Now I can tell you from experience, because I got experience. We've experienced this before. It's probably still going to hit the background even with this. We might bust out a grid, but I don't want to get too fancy. Now, her hair is definitely going to throw a shadow and cover up that side of her face. So let's see what happens. Oh, and then she went to fix it. No, I wanted to. No, we're making it dramatic. This is why you should look through the camera when you take the picture. No, you're fine. Leave it over there.
Leave it there?
Yeah. This is a teaching exhibition. Right? So we can see that that's adding drama for your mama over here. If we didn't want that, obviously we would do exactly what Marissa started to do because Marissa's good. I'm actually going to throw a little bit of compensation on this. It seems to be consistently a little bit hot with the TTL, so I'm just throwing a little compensation, not composition. There we go. Ah, here we go. Now she's getting all moody. She's like, I'm moody and I'm Marissa. And she's also squinting there. All right. She's like, oh my God, it's so shadowy in here. Oh, it's so dark. I mean, we're still getting some light in the background, but it's pretty dark, right? We can control that, right? If we want more light in the background, then we just have to simply point it towards the background more. One cool trick is if you have a big enough light source is you can do stuff like this. I don't know why I'm lighting you from the wrong side today. Oh, because the cameras are over there. That's all right. It's throwing off my mojo. It's okay, though.
You can just tell them it's a totally different model.
That's right. This isn't even Marissa. This is Marosa. Was it Marosa? Was that your cousin?
I don't remember, but we definitely do.
Yeah. Oh, look. Now the background's lit. It's lit, Marissa. I'm sure I'm clicking on the wrong ones, but now you get the point, right? This is all one light. We can see what we're getting here. So now we've got a kind of lit up background, and we still have pretty light on her face. In fact, maybe the nicest light so far. Possibly the nicest light so far. What do you think, Marissa?
I think it's pretty nice.
She thinks it's pretty nice. That makes me happy. Pretty nice. Not nice, but pretty nice.
I think it's very.
I could also distance her from the backdrop. That will not, in this space with white walls and white floor and everything, that's not going to make as much of a difference unless I get the light really close to her. Using the inverse square law, of course, is another way to do it. The further you are from your background, the less light will hit it for sure. But one of the common questions / comments I get is that I don't have a gigantic studio. Clearly our wide angle lenses work well here. I don't have a gigantic studio like you. You know what I'm looking for, Marissa.
Well, if you think about it, the backdrop is 9 feet wide. So
That's right.
judge of the room.
That's true. The backdrop is 9 feet wide. Well, you know what I'm looking for. Nobody ever knows what I'm looking for. I still haven't found what I was looking for. I found it. We're going to get... This is a reflector.
You're welcome.
I just want to point out that Seth made this reflector, I don't know, like 2 years ago. And I was happy. That was when we were young and it was early in our relationship. Has he made any reflectors since then? No. It's the same reflector. The same reflector I got to use every...
Use everything I make in this whole room and you get for all your stuff.
See? See? To be young and beautiful. There we go. We can fill in with the reflector if we like. It's a bit much. That's all right. We'll crop that out. That's why you should look through the camera, I guess. Plus it was too much. I'm going to switch to white. Yeah, just a little bit. Ah, it's pretty nice. I'd almost call that, who's that painter? No. Cezanne. I can't think of the name. I don't know. All right, cool. We're killing it. Are you killing it?
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's cover something else that we definitely want to cover. Let's talk about mixing light, because I think that's also an important thing. People, when they're first starting, people, you know, you guys maybe just have one light, you're just starting out. You can actually work with the light in the space and add your light to create something that's more unique than just what's there, right? Just using one light can really give you a lot of options. So let's do this. I'm going to start. Let's get rid of this guy for a second. I don't know. You're hanging out at your house. You have a blue wall. Marissa comes by. She's wearing a blue dress. It happens. You're like, oh, man, you know what, Marissa? I would love to take a picture of you in that blue dress. And I just got a flash. And then, of course, Marissa's going to be like, a flash? Wow, I didn't think that you were a good photographer until you bought a flash.
Ooh, no.
Now I'm impressed. So if I'm always going to want to lean towards using the lowest ISO possible. No matter what, you know, cameras come out, they got better and better high ISO, that's cool. But they still look better at lower ISO. So, you know, because it's a staged portrait, I want to try to get the best quality, so I'm always going to try to stay low in the ISO. I might change it, but I'm going to try to stay there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this and go, well, it's a portrait. Marissa's kind of energetic. I don't want to go too slow on the shutter, but I could probably get down to 125 without any problem. I'll go there first. It's still black. My lens is an f4 lens. Let me open that up because I don't really care if the background's in focus or not. Still looks very, very dark. So now I've got to think about this. I'm on a tripod. If I kind of get her to chill out, be like, Marissa, chill. Maybe go down to like a 60th. Oh, I can start to see her. All right, she's creeping in now. So now I think I pushed the shutter speed and aperture as far as I can, and that I think can still get a decent shot. Now I'm going to use my ISO. Let's see. I'm going to go up to 400. I'm a traditionalist. I go 100 to 400. Now, this is going to be dark, I'm sure, but we're going to take a shot. All right. That's not terrible, though, right? There's decent baseline there. There's decent neutral. It's on the dark side, and the light itself is a little bit like bleh. Now let's make the light nicer by adding our flash. Now I can take my flash. You know, Marissa's like, oh, yeah, you know, the other day I was hanging out with a photographer, because that's what I do every day. And they shot this natural light shot of me, and it looked just like that. Thanks for being just like everybody else. But then you're like, oh no. I have a flash. So you take your flash, and somehow you had this in your pocket. I don't know why. Maybe you have large pockets. And you're going to take your flash, and you're going to put it back here because this is where we like to put our flash. She's going to look this way. You're going to go over here, and you're going to be like, let me put this in TTL. Because I saw Daniel do that. And let's see what happens. The flash is in the shot. So I'm going to zoom in. Nope, I'm going to step forward. Oh, it's much better with the head cut off. There we go. Let's just let it do what it wants to do. Okay, not great, right? Because now, but we're in control. So let's go manual. That's a bit much, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the flash down a tiny bit. I'm going to have you work this way more. Take another shot. This goes into that question about what do you do if you don't have a meter. We're going to work through it, right? Okay, still a little on the bright side. I'm going to come down half a stop. Okay, getting better. But I feel like it's too neutral now. So now I'm going to go back, right? I opened up all this, I raised my ISO, I did all this other stuff so that I could get some detail on that side, but I want more drama now, right? So I'm going to actually now take my ISO and I'm going to drop it back. I'm going to go back down to 100 ISO. Oop, I'm going to take 2 shots because that's what you always do. Okay, that's too much. Let's go to 200 ISO. I might have jumped the gun there. Okay. Okay, right? Now we're starting to work it in, right? We've got this fill light going on. We're getting some texture. Now remember, this side of her is pretty much lit entirely by the natural light, but I'm adding this a little bit here to make it a little bit kind of more interesting. Let me reframe us. Let's get a better frame. Okay. Go like this. Okay. There we go. That's nice. Bring your head like this, like this. Right? And now we're creating light that we can shape, right? Light that has some texture to it, light that feels kind of natural because it is the light in the space, right? But I'm using the flash to make it better. Now again, let me turn the flash off just so you can see. Yeah, that's without the flash, right? And if you look, I actually got my inspiration by the light that I see on the side of her face here, right? This is the natural light, is giving her this little bit of like shine because there's a window over there. I can see it in her eyes. By putting my light in the same spot, but amping it up, right? It just makes for a nicer shot. And again, you can go anywhere in between. So, what's that? Settings. Okay, so currently I am at 1/60th of a second. F4, 200 ISO. I think I'm going to bring my shutter speed up a smidge to 1/100, just see what we get. Yeah.
If you use a slower shutter speed with your current flash help freeze the subject.
Okay, if I'm using a slower shutter speed, will rear curtain flash help freeze the subject? The answer is, no, really. The flash will freeze the subject, and then you'll have a blur. Rear curtain versus first curtain has to do with where the blur is, right? Does it blur then freeze, or does it freeze then blur? Whether one is sharper or not, it really depends on what your subject's doing. In the case here where I'm on a tripod, like here we go, this one's out of focus. I'm on a tripod here, and if I don't shoot if I wait till she poses before I shoot, okay, we should get a decently sharp shot no matter what, right? And we're sharp, that's at 100th of a second. 200 ISO. In fact, now I'm coming back to that idea that the light's too low. So I'm going to bring it up. Like this. Spin it this way slightly. Good. Let's take one last shot so you can email it to your mom. There you go. And there we go, right? We've created something from the space here, right? This is all... Oh, I left a little pointer right on your nose. This is all the light in the space, right? Now, this is the complete shot. So I'm going to take 3 pictures, so don't move for once I get it set up. This first shot is everything, right? This shot is just, oops, two of them, is just the ambient light. And then I'm going to do one more shot where I'm going to crank the shutter back up to 200, crank the f-stop back up to 8, because remember that's going to get rid of the light in the space. Go back to 100 ISO, go TTL, we'll shoot one more. And that's just the flash. So we can see that you've got, nope, what happened there? Nope, it's not that one. It's that one. Right? This shot has this nice organic quality. This shot is garbage, right? It's all out of focus. This shot is flash, and it's nice and crisp and clean, but it doesn't necessarily have what you have here. Now, you can achieve this, oops, this kind of look, the more naturalistic look with flash by using more than one flash, of course, right? If we wanted to shoot at f11 and have more control, instead of just letting the daylight kind of pour in, I could like bounce flash around the room and fill it up with light. So there is things in between, but I want to kind of show how you would mix them together, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I bet you that makes sense. But just because I have it, nobody saw that. Don't worry, nobody was looking. We'll edit that out. All right.
Of the live.
All right. Let's do one final thing, because, you know, this is how I like to do things. You're saying, you know what? I went to Adorama, and I bought this ProPhoto A1, and I really love it. But then I got this big flash, and now I'm like, oh, I don't use this as much anymore. Maybe it's feeling a little underused. Maybe it's a little sad. It's like, Daniel, you don't really use me anymore. Well, guess what, buddy? We can use you as a fill light. So I'm going to do an on-axis fill. Seth has never, ever done this. So he'll...
You can actually text me while I'm doing a demo to tell me how much you hate.
I do not like on-axis fill generally, but I just want to show people. This would not be my first thing to do, because it's not my favorite, but you know, everyone's got their favorites. Before I do anything, I'm going to turn this down to 0. All right, this is going to be my transmitter and a flash. I'm just going to leave everything in the middle and just shoot TTL, because it's always good to get a bad shot first, right? Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Although, is it more terrible than the first shot? I'm not sure. The vapor is called blue, sky blue, I believe, or true blue. It's blue jean. That's correct. It's called blue jean. Blue jean, baby. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Let's vote on which one is worse. I will send you the raw files of these guys. All right, here we go.
Can you explain on-axis fill?
Okay, so on-axis fill means you're filling on the axis. Okay, so normally when you're going to fill in, you're going to use any kind of fill. Like let's say when we used the reflector earlier, the light was coming from over here, right? And I put the reflector here because mostly because I needed to bounce the light, right? I have to, when you're not using an active fill, let's say a flash, you've got to put your fill, which is a reflector in this case, opposite to where your light is, right? So the axis of the camera is here. You guys are the camera, right? Light's here, fill's here. If I was able to take my fill and put it in the direction of the camera, that's on-axis fill. The advantage to that is that it will never throw its own shadow opposite the regular key light, basically. So it's going to always fill in nice and evenly from the front. It's just a good way to get an even fill light. You just got to make sure you don't overdo it, because it can look a little bit like that terrible shot that I just did. All right. So I'm going to go here. This is the C light. I'm going to dial this bad boy down 2 stops. And let's see what we get. Boom. Okay, better. Well, what? Let's get you back in that first pose, though, so it's consistent. I think I'm going to have to switch to manual, because it's still too much, but... Yeah, that would be better. The only issue, I mean, I don't like doing it with the flash on camera because I find that unless you balance it exactly right, you end up getting like a bad shadow here. But let me see if I can balance it right. Let's test my balancing act. I'm switching to manual. I'm going to go down 2 stops. No, stop and a half. There we go, that's better. That's the shot. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. All right, I'm going to send you this raw file, guys. I actually have a new business. It's called Marissa Rod. There we go. All right, so now we're getting this, again, that nice kind of organic feel, and you can tweak it however you want. And again, this is all flash, all day, every day.
You want to bounce it back?
Oh, you want to do it better? Yeah. Right, so the better way to do it, better chatter. Should I take that off, maybe?
We got the light and the 2.
Oh yeah, I don't mess around. All right, so what I got? Like 2 more, just 1, 2?
No,
Stop and a half?
stop. Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay, we're going to give it a little more light. We're going to bounce it and make it nicer, do it set style. There you go. Very nice, not terrible. Okay, what's the difference, right? Heck of a lot of difference. In the first one, I'm using a hard light source as my fill. You can really see that, that cut. See how soft it is here? It fades out, like see the line, the shadow line? So that's a bigger on-axis fill. And you can do it with the flash on your camera like this. I was just showing you because, you already got it, right? So it's nice. You can actually wear a hat with a board on it, and then it would just work. So like, any kind of hat like that. If somebody wants to create that. Yeah, like a Pope hat. Actually, you could have one that curved. This could be a thing for us. Let me know in the comments if you would buy that hat, because.
Or like one of those like nuns.
Yeah, but except the opposite, so it would swing forward. And then you can get different color inserts, like gold if you want to warm up your fill.
Okay.
All right, let us know if you're interested in that.
Stylish.
All right. Okay, good, awesome. You can also bounce off the ceiling, but that's garbage. So we're not going to do that.
It's not garbage.
It's all right, fine, it's not garbage. Here we go. I'll bounce off the ceiling. It'll be the best one, no? Oh, well, too much power. Actually, to be honest, it's not garbage. That's because we have like awesome white ceilings and like nobody else is gonna have a space like this. Yeah, actually, that's also very nice.
That's garbage?
All right, it's not garbage. We're gonna cut the part where I said it was garbage. No, but keep in mind, if you're gonna bounce up the ceiling, you gotta have the right kind of ceilings. I mean, we're literally in a completely white space, and the ceiling actually has 2 huge white beams that drop down, forming, this like perfect storm of light. So, okay, what are you learning in this lesson? Just have a studio in New York with the ceilings, and you're done. All right. We don't get a lot of floor space, but we got tall ceilings. I gotta tell you, that's not terrible. I'm gonna spend a minute to look at it. Yeah, and we can actually control the density of that shadow by turning our light up and down. Yeah, but see, the problem with this now is they're not gonna need that hat if they know they can just bounce off the ceiling. So that's killing our hat business. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice, Marissa. Yeah. She's looking up, she's like, I wish I had tall ceilings like that. She's like, this is fine, but if you had a hat, it would look so much better. All right, so that's it, right? We went from mixing the light in the space, if I can find that one. If I can't tell the difference, that means we did a good job. No, it's this one, right? Mixing the light in the space to, I want to get a similar pose here, to a fill light, right? Both are good options. I mean, actually, you can see the colors a little cleaner in the all flash one, all flash all the time. And it just there's a more of a measure of control in the flash than you get if you're just bouncing it. So actually, I think I proved my point, even though it looked better than I thought it was going to. And there you go. Put a stamp on. Oh, all right, it's getting to be that time almost. That's fine, right? You're standing in a daylight studio in Manhattan. You've got light coming through the windows. You're able to mix it. That's like 90% of you, right? But for the other 10% that don't have that, you can also mix a constant light source. Well, you knew it was going to come back out. Let's say, for instance, you had this Savage RGBW Luminous Pro RGB ring light. I never know what anything's called. This, by the way, is a great ring light. We rocked.
Shadows?
What's that?
Colored shadows?
Oh, we could do colored shadows. We rocked was WPPI?
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, that was so good. Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. We killed that.
Actually, that was live, remember?
Yep, we trashed the Savage booth.
You can see it on your YouTube channel. This is where
Yes.
you plug your channel.
Right, go watch it on my YouTube channel. So this is why I appreciate Savage. Because when brands ask me to do stuff, I usually say to them, can I trash your booth? And most brands, I have to be honest, are like, ooh. Savage was like, yeah.
Yeah, they were
They were like, if you can try, I believe is what they said. And try we did.
Can you tell them what tripod you're using?
Okay, so this is a Manfrotto X Pro 055 X Pro 3. Yeah, 3. Or is it a 2? It's a 2 or a 3. I can never remember. It has 3 sections, so I think it's a 3. There's also a 4, which collapsed down smaller, I think. But it's an X Pro. All right. All right, so first we're just going to... Oh, let me get rid of this thing. All right, so, I don't want to confuse people. I'll take it off.
You need to start this off by saying, use a ring light short and
Never riding around.
I did start off that way. Because if you follow me at all, you know that I constantly contradict myself. Because there are no rules, no matter what that PDF that you bought said. All right, we're getting a base shot. Oh, interesting. Turn further so we get no light on your nose.
Turn like this way?
Yeah, let's get no light on the nose. No, oops, sorry, the nose. There we go. There's a little bit on there, but it's okay. All right, so, oh, that's interesting. Actually, a little further. Actually,
Good?
I'll just move the light.
Okay.
So much work for Daniel. No, it's not you. It's not you, it's me. All right, this will get a little light in the background too. Let's try that. I'm in TTL, so who knows what's going to happen. Oh, perfect. I knew it was going to happen. All right, that's good, right? If you make that shot, I mean, you should be happy that you're able to shoot with Marissa. All right, I'm going to dial down the power one stop. Let's bring in this ring light. We'll start with daylight because she wants to be blinded. Now I'm going to use the meter in my camera. You can watch my video about doing that. First thing I'm going to do again, same order. I'm going to drop my shutter speed first because I'm on a tripod and I care the least amount about it. Then I'm going to open up my aperture. And then if need be, I will adjust my ISO. Okay, so it looks to me to be 60th f4, 100 ISO. It looks a little underexposed by the meter. So I'm just going to take one shot and see what it looks like. Oh, that is flat.com. Look at that. Boom, ring in the eye. Let me get the 87 comments about how they hate that. I love a ring light, except I don't like the ring in the eye.
Do you want me to not look at
Eyes are going to reflect light sources. They're moist. Moist?
the ring? Moist.
They're moist, like Duncan Hines brownies. They are moist like Duncan Hines.
That's the face of moist.
That is the face of moistness.
Moist.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm a little distracted here. Good job, Marissa.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's do this. If you watched my video this week on Adorama TV, see I did that? About color temperature, let's play around a minute. Let's take this light and let's change it to 3200 Kelvin, which is tungsten. We'll take a shot. Okay, and she's warm, of course, as you might expect. And then I'm going to grab my thing over here. I'm going to switch this over to incandescent. Now we are mixed with a little bit of daylight in here, so it's not going to go quite normalized Actually, can we lose? Is it going to go super dark if I turn this off? Let's try it. I'm going to have to get a longer cable. Turning off my LED light. Oh yeah, that was affecting our exposure a little bit. So I'm going to go ISO 200. Oops, sorry. That was a blink, but oh no, it's a half blink. All right. Why so blue, Marissa? Why so blue? All right, you're looking super blue. Yeah, it's correcting away the tungsten, by the way, guys. If you're watching this and you're like, why is she not warm? It's because I've got the ISO, the white balance set at, I want to put it at 3784 because I've read somewhere that's the right place to put it. So make notes of that. 3784, that's where you should be. Okay, so now we're getting this kind of mixed color temp action going on. I'm not at all doing what I was going to do, but that's how Daniel does things. All right, I'm turning down my flash one stop at a time until I get it where I want it. There we go. All right, so now again, I'm mixing my light sources, right? Most of the light right now is the ring light that's lighting her very softly from the front, you know, with that beautiful ring in her eye. And then I've got the flash kind of coming in the back, kind of lighting the background and also lighting her hair. I'll turn the flash off so you guys can see what it's doing. And there you go, right? Stark, which is fine, you know, or environmental. Stark, environmental, stark, environmental, stark, environmental, stark, and anywhere in between, right? Now, Marissa is looking kind of off the way she's looking, so that circle is not directly on her pupil.
Do you want me to turn?
No, you're fine. I'm going to move this over here, and then I'm going to have you like look here. Yeah. This is me caring way more about catch lights than I ever have in my entire life. There we go. There we go. All right. Trying to get those catch lights a little bit more in the middle. There we go. Now, let's get the flash back on. I'm not at all doing color shadows right now. I don't know what we're doing. We're doing something though. There we go. I had to get a final shot there. So it's clean, right? It's a clean shot. It's nice and even on her face. Skin tone looks good. It's a little on the warm side. Light's punchy. She has that wraparound. Again, we're mixing the light. Constant light, flash. Yes, I am using the least powerful light is the key, and the more powerful light is the hair light. Who knows why I do things that I do? Nobody's really sure, but that's, you know. But let's do some fun with color.
Oh, weird.
Because this can be any color. What color do you want it to be, Marissa?
Let's blue. Let's do blue. 'Cause it's total
Really?
blueness.
Blue? Okay. Let's see if I can remember how to do it. Oh yeah, there we go. Is that blue?
Green. Getting there. Oh, okay. Blue, green. We're getting there. Blue.
Oh,
Teal. It's like
wow.
teal.
Oh, that is teal. Oh, wow. Your skin looks crazy.
Oh.
No? All right, I'm going all blue. All blue all the time.
Ooh.
You look like a freak.
Alien lady. Oh, we should do green and do like an alien.
What have we learned here? What have we learned here? We don't ask Marissa.
Why don't we do it? Let's throw a strobe so that you get some hard shadows and then fill in the shadows with the color.
Yep, that's the plan. There we go. So who do we ask? Not Marissa, Seth. Let's create some shadow that we can fill. Ugh. Turn straight towards the camera like a something, I don't know what. Like a person. Do something. All right. That looks about right. I was going to randomly take a picture. Oh. All right, there you go. That actually doesn't look bad. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's get some shadow going on. Let's kill this for a second. Let's get some shadow. All right. I'm going to bring my, again, I'm bringing my shutter speed and stuff back up so I can figure out my exact flash positioning before I do anything else. I mean, you may not always want to do this, but I'm just doing it more so you guys can see where everything's falling.
Oh, don't forget to reset your white balance.
Yep, got to reset the white balance. I'll do that at the computer, I think. Okay, went back to TTL. There we go. Let me come over here. Right now I have it set on custom. I'm going to switch it back to flash. Actually, I think I'll do sunny. Sun here. All right, now it's like shadowy, right? It's not, well, fine. The shadow's not super interesting, but it's a shadow. All right, so let's not do green because I think green's a little weird. Let's go. Remember what I said today's color was? Red. Oh, wow. This is freaking the camera out. All right, so I'm just going to leave my settings the way they are, even though I know it's not going to do much. Okay, good. Because I don't want it to be a perfect exposure, so I'm going to have to just play with it a little bit. So I'm going to go to F4. 1/125, leave the ISO where it is. Yeah. Filling in the shadows with a little red. Yeah, let's make this more interesting. Turn this way with your face. More. Actually, let me do this as well so people can see better. Oh, I don't really say anything with that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. I think we got too much hair going on. Yeah, it's just too subtle. It's only hitting your hair. Let's kill the flash for a second. Maybe I should create something more interesting, like overhead.
Grid.
Yeah, a grid on the octagon. Oh, that's just, that requires work. God, I'm so old. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so old, I can't do it myself.
You have to use this. Hang on, I'm just going to swing.
You got it. Do what you got to do. Turn towards the light. Let's see. Oh, wow. That is red. All right, I'm going to bring my ISO up to 200.
Are you about to shoot this flash in my face?
No, I turned it off. I turned the flash off as safety protocol requires. Oh, yeah, look at that. You are red. Yeah. You're like, I'm on fire. All right. All right, we got a grid so we can create a little bit more interesting shadow pattern here.
Tell me where.
Maybe like do a tippy tip.
Tilt it?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Yeah. And then kind of look like this way. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like.
You want them feathered off or what?
Yeah.
To you?
No, because I want more shadow. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what that looks like. I was going to get a general idea of where it's positioned. Thank you, Seth. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. Oh, it's almost like the shot that is in the promo. Look at that. All right. So you guys clearly have seen here. I didn't want to do it, but take out your credit cards. Go buy a grid. I'm just kidding. No, the grid really does add a lot. It gives more control. Yes, let's work it like that. Good. So what the grid's doing for us is it's giving us control of the light to control where the spill is. I'm just getting that red kind of on her hair and like a little bit in the fill into the shadows here, right? Because remember, with no light, and that's always the hard part too. Oops, did the wrong thing. With no constant light, there is a remote for this, by the way, guys, but I do not know what I do with it. You can also control it with an app, which is pretty nice. All right, so we're going to look at our image here, and we're going to see where there's shadow, and that's where we want the red. That's pink. Let's go pink. Pink is like red, except pink. Let's see if that, because I have it on eyeball focus, I think it's probably like, red eyes, oh, it's not October yet.
You're back, you're back, you're back.
Okay, we're back.
iPhone, look at the iPhone.
Looking on the iPhone. Okay. We are back, guys. All right, so what we've got here now is we've got our, I'm going to kill the constant light for a second because I don't know where that got cut off. So we've got the grid and do like a,
Wow, we might lose it again.
we might lose it again, guys. Just stand by and don't leave. All right. We've got this beautiful light coming across. And wow, that is crispy.com. So that is with the grid. And it's all good, right? It's all good. Oh, should we do on access fill?
Sure.
Sometimes Marissa likes on access fill. Sometimes she doesn't. So you got to ask her. It's like a Mounds versus an Almond Joy. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Well, if you want to be really cool and do what everybody else did 10 years ago, you could just have the ring be in the shot. Oh my God, I'm so edgy. I'm using a ring light and it's in the shot. You can see the ring. It's so cool.
What are you, bear?
Am I a bear? Like Smokey the Bear?
Bitter, bitter.
Oh, no. I don't think I am. My mom says I'm sweet. Okay. A little green fill. It's so subtle. It is like the subtlest subtle ever. Let me drop my shutter down. I'm really lit. I'm 10th of a second. I want to really go green. Wow, that green. Something about Marissa's skin tone just eats the green. It must be all that red. That's a pop and blur with a 10th of a second. And not a very good one. All right, so I don't think green's working for you today. Let's find a color that works. Oh, wow, that looks freaky. Good. All right, I'm going to come back up. So my fill is about a stop under. It's blue. There we go. All right, I guess blue is the answer. Blue is the answer. There we go. I'm going to go a tiny, tiny bit darker.
Don't forget to thank everybody for the one now.
I will. All right. Okay, I made the blue a little bit richer, a little darker, make it more subtle, like it's in the room, basically. Now let me go warm on this. I think that's going to be nicer. So guys, we are, just in case you haven't been watching, we have got to 1 million subscribers in, I don't know, was it last week? I still have not come down from the high. 2 weeks ago. I've lost track of time. We have 1 million subscribers. Thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. If you are not a subscriber and you want to subscribe, $14.99 per, no, it's free now, right? It's free to subscribe. Yeah, so thanks, guys. I mean, these live demos that I do, I really enjoy them. I love the interaction that you guys come out to see us, so I appreciate that. And 1 million subscribers is pretty awesome. I told my mom, and she was like, "What's a YouTube?" No. My mom's probably watching right now. She's going to yell at me because I said that. She knows what YouTube is. She's got a TikTok.
Your mom?
Of course. Whose mom doesn't have a TikTok?
Mine.
Oh, I like the warm. All right, so that's a warm. Oh yeah, you can actually see the color of the ring in her eye. That's how we know that she's devilish. All right, here we go. Yeah, let's do that like warmish. Look right at me. I'm gonna give myself a little bit less flash power. Actually, I'm just gonna raise, I'm going to F5. I wanna make the whole thing darker, basically. Yeah, plus F5 and be there. That's like the, oh yeah, this is very organic. I've said organic a lot today. I think that's the buzzword for today. 14's kind of a nice color. Oh, you know what we can do? We can make it look like the golden rays at the end of the day of a sunset.
Oh.
I like that, Vanessa.
All right. You may have seen, Let's make it the sun's, like, listen, my friend in California has been sending me pictures of the sun. This is what it looks like over there in California right now. So this one goes out to all you West Coasters. So work towards this light.
We do hope you're safe on the West Coast, though.
Yeah, well, of course. That goes without saying. Or maybe it doesn't. All right, we've got the red sun. Oh, it's in the shot, of course, is all things.
Oh, it's so edgy. It's in the shot.
It's in the shot, yeah, it's edgy. I am so edgy. All right, hold on. I don't know why my cord feels especially short today.
Because you actually moved the table away from
Yeah.
there.
I gotta get the little extender. If you're watching Tether Tools, no, I just want a longer cable. One more wireless thing to deal with, I'm just not. Although you used it and you really liked it, right?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, Seth has used it. If you're curious about AirDirect, because I always get 1,000 questions about that, you did a video on your YouTube channel. So check out Seth's YouTube channel for all the latest, greatest tech news and songs from the 60s, 70s, and today. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think we're getting there. We've got the red glow. That does not look at all like the sun. Also, my focus is like crazy off. I think this red is really killing the focus, with the focus. It's weird. I'm gonna switch to manual focus. I'm also blind.
No, you know what it is? It's the frequency of the LED.
Oh yeah? Yeah, but it's only happening with the red.
Right, because it's a different, it has to do, it's changing for the color. Remember what happened with me and the pink that I did on the Fuji video?
That's right. All right, that was me trying to manually focus. Blind Daniel. Oh, there we go. That worked. Okay, good. Yeah, so be wary of that, guys. Sometimes, LEDs are strange, magical creatures that were created by scientists many years ago when the Earth was young. And they do weird things, man. Nobody even knows what LED means. It's lost. The ancient language of the LEDs has been lost through time. Some believe that it means light emitting diode, but that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there we go. And we can move it around to get various kind of textures, and oh, I like that. That's sleepy, Marissa. I'm so sleepy. So now that I'm here, right, I'm in manual on my flash, if I change my ISO, if I change my f-stop, it's going to affect the flash exposure. But I can dial my shutter speed all over the place to see different effects. So if we, for instance, I'm at 80th of a second right now, so go ahead and do that same sleepy pose. Let me focus it first. Okay, that's good. All right, so I'm gonna roll down to, let's say, a 30th. Focusing, here we go. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get more red, right? The red's gonna get brighter. Obviously, the slower I go, the more likely there's gonna be to get a blur. But I mean, at a 30th on a tripod with her holding still, we're doing pretty good. If I drop it, let's see how still Marissa can stay. This is the game that you play with kids. I have a game. Let's see who can stay still the longest. All right, she's doing pretty good. That's it. Hold that. Hold. Good. All right, right? Now I've let a lot of light in. It's getting that weird kind of, like that crackly red.
You should let her hair go blurry and just keep her sharp.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to do. What do you mean with like movement? Like have her go?
Just a little bit of movement on her hair. A little bit.
Can you do this? I probably have to do it with the backhand though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, keep your face towards the strobe.
yeah, you have to go like that. I just have to keep the redness drop. All right, so if you want to do this, I am not the master of this, but no, you need to make sure that the constant light hits the face as little as possible. All right, so turn your face so that no red's on you. There we go. I'm going to give myself, let's see, that's plenty of time. Oh man, the focus thing is an issue. Let's see if I can get it in focus. There we go. Okay. So go ahead and flip your hair. Right. There we go. I mean,
Oh,
that's it.
Fire it. She's a phoenix.
It's still relatively sharp. The back eye's sharp. And yeah.
Well, what's happening is the window is coming in.
Yeah, we got window light coming in. Well, I mean, I could go. Uh-oh. Closing it up. Yep, there's always one window we can't block.
No, it's pretty dark though.
Yeah, we'll try it. Why not?
I mean,
Let's do it again. We'll see.
Ready?
Yeah, hold on. Let me focus first. Turn your face a little bit more away from me. Good. All right, here we go. And go. Yeah. There we go.
ooh.
And there she is, right? We got. She's sharp. Oh, there's like a little blur. Is that a blur on her nose, or does she just have a huge nose? Look at her hand. Your hand's like.
Look at my hand.
No, it's fine. It's cool. Yeah, not bad. Not
Wait,
terrible.
you can see my hand in there?
I mean,
Now you have your thumbnail
Oh,
for
yeah.
advanced flash.
now I have the thumbnail for advanced flash, so we're going to do it next time. I try not to do this during this one because we're going to. Then I can sell the advanced class for $14.95 plus shipping.
But they get free presets.
They do get free presets. You know what? Do this like start here and then go.
Okay, so they're like,
Yeah, yeah. That way the whole thing will be blurry. All right, here we go. We're not going to pull this off. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
alright, ready?
There is no chance I'm doing this. Yep, good. That was super fast. Yes!
Oh my god!
Ah.
Wait, look at my face. It's like,
Yep.
Wait, are you under a curtain?
No, that's first curtain, I think.
that's actually
All right.
really terrifying.
Oh, let's do rear curtain. Oh, you have to do it in the menu, right? Let's see, menu. It's the pencil, right?
Wait, same thing?
No, I got you. You want to do it?
Yeah, where is it? Is it in the pencil?
Go to the eye.
The eye.
No, stop.
Oh, the eye menu that I set up. Perfect. All right, we're in rear curtain sync. Rear curtain stink. All right, you ready?
Same thing?
Yeah, but you gotta do it the opposite.
Oh, wait, this way?
You have to end this way.
Okay, so go like,
Yep, so, yep, exactly. Let me-
Keith says what's up. Keith out
Hey, Keith, Alexander, woo! All right, here we go, and go. Oops, I should have done it when you first started moving because I screwed up, but that's all right, not terrible. It still kind of worked. Yeah, sharp.
wait, let me make it better.
Yeah, let's do it better.
Alright.
Hold on, let me focus. You know I won't be able to get in focus now. Okay, here we go. Whenever you're ready, and go. Perfect, that was a much better face.
So good.
So clearly, I'm able to do it perfectly, but Marissa ruins it every single time.
Alright, I'll do it.
No, I'm just kidding. And which one are we going to use? The last one, of course. No, let's do it one more time. You can make a funny face. Just make sure you get all the ways over.
Fierce.
Hold on, let me focus. Okay, and go. Now you got to go all the ways over no matter what you do.
Oh.
Otherwise, you're going to get a double face.
Okay, oh, okay.
Yeah, because if any of the red light is still on your face when the flash goes off, you'll be blurry.
Right, okay.
Okay. And go. Nah, I think I screwed it up. I might as well go with rear curtain. I don't know. Yeah, that's not bad. There you go.
Well, if you're not going to a curtain, never face that way in front curtain and spin the other way.
Yeah, that's what I did the first time. Well, I didn't have her spin. I just had to do it hand. We can do that. All right, I'll do it with the spin. Let's do it one more time.
Same thing?
Yeah, hold on. No, opposite.
Oh.
I'm going to front curtain sync. Front curtain stink, as they say. Turn your face towards the flash. Hold on. Turn towards the flash. Yeah, right there. A little further, right there.
Oh,
So-
not move?
Yeah, hold on. Let me focus. Okay. So whenever you're ready, you're just going to go that way.
Swoosh my hair?
No, turn, I
Okay.
guess.
Alright, ready?
Yep, go. Oh, interesting. Weird. Okay. So we'll take 4 or 5 of those and put them together and in Photoshop. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, guys. Any questions? Or everybody's just like, what is this? I'm going home.
No, you're fine. Just we might lose the stream.
Okay, we might lose the stream. So anyways, we're wrapping up anyways. So we went a little bit into advanced flash. Oh, gotta turn the light on. We went a little bit into advanced flash because, you know, that's the kind of thing that I do. But kind of the gist of this is just to kind of show you guys what the flash actually is and what it's actually doing, right? It's giving you control of your space. It's powerful. You can see in these last shots, it freezes action, right? It gives you that control, even at a slow shutter speed of, look, a fifth of a second, right? She's completely frozen here. That's even though she was moving, and that's because the flash is going to stop that action. We'll get into that a lot more when I do an advanced flash class coming up. See, you gotta sell the class, gotta sell that, right? Sell it, it's free. Anyways, but keep in mind, right? If you want a light, which I think ultimately, if you stick with photography and get more serious in it, you're going to want to use lighting. Flash might seem intimidating. It might seem like, oh man, I don't really understand how that works. But ultimately, it has its place. It's very powerful. It's a very useful tool to have. So just understand the basics and then work it, and you'll eventually get very proficient in it, and you can use it for all kinds of stuff. So go ahead and follow Marissa. Thanks, Seth, on the Mighty Mix. Thank you guys for following Adorama and subscribing and everything. We have 1 million subscribers. That's awesome. And I'll be back in a couple weeks. I feel like I need like an end screen that like dances or something. Remember that?